Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. I'm on vacation. The setup's going to look a little bit weird today, but we have news regardless, and I'm not going to stop making news for that. I love doing these things. This still fits into my vacation schedule for sure and vibe-wise. But today we're looking at the 3 new V-Jump promos revealed late last night. I think they're interesting. I feel like they're worth covering here. So let's just run through them. I'm not going to be able to pull them up on here. I don't have really any editing capabilities right now. So I'm just going to record this raw. If you want to follow along with the actual literal card effects and you want to read them as we go, please open them up on YG Organization, on whatever you're watching this on. They do a great job with news anyway, so they deserve a little love and shout out there too. But let's get into this thing. 3 new V-Jump promos. Let's start off with the first one, Otonari Thunder. This is a new Thunder support card. It's a level 4 light Thunder effect monster, 500 attack, 1200 defense. You can only use its 2 effects once per turn each. The first effect reads, if you control 2 or more Thunder monsters, while this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Second effect reads, you can target 1 Exceed monster you control. Attach 2 level 4 light Thunder monsters from your hand, field, and or grave to it as material, including this card you control. Yeah, I mean, this card just doesn't impress me overall. This seems like a lower level extender compared to just what the standard has become for extenders in Yu-Gi-Oh! It not only does it need stuff on field, which is already one of the first things that raises an eyebrow on me. Not that it kills an extender, but needing stuff. It is something I notch in my head, okay, so somebody wipes your board, this card does not extend you at all. This card requires 2 bodies on field, not just 1. And that's what really kills it for me, I think. That's going to be tough. Now, there could be certain combos where you're able to access super generic Thunder monsters at some point, and maybe this card is it's more like a combo piece rather than an actual extender. But other than that, I really don't see it. This Exceed material, adding effect, this is not doing much for me either. You're going to use this as an extender to get it on field just so that you can put 2 more materials on an Exceed monster. It's not doing it for me. I just don't feel like the payoff's there. I don't feel like the flexibility is there. But, it's an extender for Thunders, sure. We don't have much Thunder stuff in the game anyway, so it's literally Thunder Dragons, sprites, and then other than that, there's not much Thunder stuff going on. So, whatever. It's there. All right, next up we have Giant Crackhorn here. This is a level 8 Earth Plant effect monster, 1000 attack, 2500 defense. I love the artwork on this guy. He's literally a big kraken, but instead of the head of an octopus, it has a giant head of corn. It's great. It's great artwork. I can't wait to see this one actually printed. You can only use the first and second effects once per turn. First effect, when your opponent's monster declares an attack, special summon this card from the hand, and if you do, change the attack target to it and perform damage calculation. Second effect, target a plant monster you control except for itself, its attack, and this card's become their total original attack. This card's terrible. This card's unplayable. Unfortunately, he only jumps out of the hand when your opponent's monster attacks, so you can't even do it on your battle phase for being able to summon stuff in the battle phase and push for more damage or anything like that. This card is just truthfully unplayable. Even the second effect's sure, it boosts two plants you control. That's fine. But the first effect, the way you get this out is impossibly bad. So, yeah, that's not it for me. I really don't see this card seeing any play ever. And the last card we have here is Splitting Planarian. This is the most interesting of the 3 by far, but we'll get into that. Level 4 Dark Insect effect monster, 1000 attack, 800 defense, and hard once returned. You can banish this card you control as cost. Special summon 2 level 3 insect monsters with the same name from your deck, but their effects are negated. Also, banish them during the end phase. Okay, so this is by far the most interesting card here. It has legit potential to be a starter for insect / you call it Rika decks. Really. It's kind of like a double Lone Fire Blossom, right? You get 2 bodies instead of 1. That's the benefit it has over Lone Fire, but basically in every other way it's worse, unfortunately, right? The monsters summoned are negated, which is fair. You get 2 bodies instead of 1. If they're negated, fine. You can still use monsters that have graveyard effects. Cool. They have to be the same name. It's not just any 2 level 3 insects like a rescue cat kind of thing. It has to be the exact same name, which is still kind of icky, right? Like there's not really many instances where this would double up. And it's level 3 exactly. If it actually was like level 4 or lower and it was still same name, you could still at least be summoning 2 Resonance Insect, which would actually be super interesting. And I would definitely like toy around with the idea, but it's only level 3s, and there's a couple of interesting targets. It's not a nothing level for insects, but it does definitely take away the most potent target it could have potentially had. And lastly, I guess the other last thing we do is this card banishes itself, and there are multiple like decks that you don't want this card to get banished. If you play this in a Beat Trooper deck and this card banishes itself and it gets ashed, even if you have Sting Lancer in hand, because this card banished itself instead of tributing itself like Lone Fire Blossom, Sting Lancer now doesn't have a monster in your graveyard to go ahead and use himself as an extender. He's dead. Doing Beat Trooper combos. When you get the Link 2 on field, you want to have as many insects in grave as possible to be able to banish for the Beat Trooper Link 2. I'm not saying this completely kills the Beat Trooper Link 2 from coming back, but if the Beat Trooper Link 2 like does get hand trapped or something, like it does hurt your ability to put enough names in grave, where if you can just clear that Link 2, you can bring him back and just kind of cycle into more advantage, but it just doesn't work. Because this card doesn't end up in grave. So it does punish you a little bit in multiple different ways. The best level 3 targets that I did find, though, are the Rika level 3. That's the Shinobi insect guy. But the problem there is that he really appreciates you having this card in grave. If this card tributed, would be significantly better. When the Shinobi insect is used as link material for a Rika monster, it can reborn any whatever, like insect, plant, reptile. This card doesn't end up in grave, so it can't reborn it. And so it doesn't have a target because you had to summon exactly 2 of him, which means there were no other insects in grave. So you lose the ability to extend with him that way. Well, I guess that's the main thing there. So it's just a little awkward there. You can get to the Link 3 off of this card, which is fine, but that's not enough on its own, especially when it's so weak to like auto 3 of in like every deck list in the game. That's not going to work. I think Gokipole may be the best target here because it does make it a full play on its own, right? Because you just go normal this card, banish it, summon 2 Gokipole, link them off for the Beat Trooper Link 2. They search for Resonance Insect, and then the Beat Trooper Link 2 lets you extra normal the Resonance Insect. You link those off for a Link 3. Maybe it's the Rika Link 3, maybe it's something else. I think the Rika Link 3 is pretty good there, actually, because then you can trigger the Resonance Insect to search a level 7 or higher insect, which is probably Sting Lancer, and then still use the Rika Link 3 to banish the Resonance Insect to search, and a Gokipole to search the trap, and still then you get to trigger Resonance Insect to Foolish Burial an insect from there. So it's pretty good value. You get the trap, you get the Sting Lancer, who's kind of like a hand trap / follow-up if you want, either way. From there, and you're getting a Foolish Burial. That's decent value. Now, and that's the last thing is like you absolutely crumble to ash, right? We talked about that. I mentioned that earlier, but like you crumble to ash if you get ash there, especially since Sting Lancer doesn't even play through it. You also kind of hate, I mean, you don't hate it, but like getting it, you still like can just get impermed on the Beat Trooper Link 2, and still be in trouble. Technically, you only need 1 extender from there, but even then, you still might struggle to get 3 full insects in grave that you want to banish to get the Armored Horn as like back as an extender to help you keep playing. So it's still not a foolproof plan by any means. But yeah, long story short, it was like close, but I think like the combination of like the multiple restrictions here, banishing itself, only level 3 insects, no other levels. They have to be the exact same name. They're negated. All that stuff kind of combines to make this card like just not worth it overall, especially with just like the overarching risk of you get ashed, you lose. So I can really only see myself playing this in a Beat Trooper deck where like maybe Beat Trooper gets more support down the line and they absolutely kill Ash Blossom. Like just getting ashed on normal doesn't matter. Like you don't care about your normal whatsoever. The deck has multiple other ways to like get the job done. In that reality, I could see this being something to look at because it is decent payoff off of one card, and Beat Troopers don't have the greatest like one card combos like that, but maybe it could find its way into that kind of build. But other than that, it's not it for me. But there you go. Those are my thoughts on all three cards. I doubt any of the three would really see that much play, but I feel like they were still worth going over because they are, especially the Insect and the Thunder, are at least interesting cards. So we'll see where they go down the line. But I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down below on these cards. Is there any other applications you can think of these cards that maybe help salvage them that I'm not seeing? Like at least the Thunder is an activated Thunder effect in hand potentially, which potentially makes it able to make a Thunder Dragon fusion type thing. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below on those if you think there's anything else that salvages them. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.